Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Funky Hellboy and you're watching Super Smash Bros. Melee Online Battles, Episode 1, Rebirth. Hey guys, what's going on? I know it's been a while since my last Melee Online Battles, but it was because the community wasn't fully there yet to really make the videos feel worthwhile doing. And also, I just had a lot of things going on, and I also wanted to focus a little bit more on Skullgirls before I advanced into new game territory. But with this, I do want to actually now focus on Super Smash Bros. Melee and with Skullgirls. So with Melee, you won't miss anything. With Skullgirls, it'll just be a nice little addition. So, a little background information. These matches were extremely important for me, because these were the matches I needed to get back into Melee. I did not go into training. I did not train with any characters. All I tried to do was use my main characters, who I will list out for you now. I used Link, which you'll not see in the videos, because that was more of a test to see if the recording was making it so then the frames per second would drop, which it did not, which I'm very happy about, and I'm not happy about that SD right there. So, my mains are Link, Captain Falcon, and Marth, and Dr. Mario. Well, the thing is, I used to main Mario, and I just played Dr. Mario in these sets, and I really felt the power behind Dr. Mario compared to Mario, and I really understood why people like how Dr. Mario plays compared to the regular Mario. So, in all honesty, out of all these matches, what I did learn is my best character might just be Marth. And you'll see why. I learn a lot and I get back into my Melee groove into these matches. So I guess, since this is Rebirth, we should just talk about my history with Smash Bros. I have an extremely long-running history with Smash Bros. I played Super Smash Bros. On the Nintendo 64 and still play it today, even on my Android device, which I'm surprisingly gotten pretty good at with the touchscreen controls. Can go against at least 3 level 9s and still do pretty well. I play Melee a lot, but not as much as I used to, because my all 3, yes that's right, 3 Melee discs have all been scratched to heck, and I can't even use them anymore. I really did like Brawl, and I actually have a certain opinion about Brawl with Melee, and I did play I play Brawl just constantly whenever I can. And I also played Project M, but honestly I can't play that all too much because I just don't have the competitive scene around it. There are some things that did inspire me beyond just the I really wanted to get back into Melee vibe to make these videos. One is I actually discovered that there was a new tourney scene that was going to be started in actually my area. So I really wanted to get into Melee so I can actually participate in the new tournaments. That was one reason. The other reason was, you know, I haven't played Smash Bros. In a while, and I really wanted to play it. Smash Bros. Is a really fun game, and I really do hold it in very high regard. I never quite understood why nobody considered Smash Bros. As a fighting game, when honestly, compared to other fighting games, this game takes a lot more executional skill, and not if you're just seeing like 3 up Bs in a row like that. This game takes so much executional skill, and just you really need to be well of the mind just to play this game. And honestly, I really find that the game is fun for casuals and competitive people, which is very surprising because you don't see too many casual people getting into games like King of Fighters or Street Fighter or any fighting game that has that is considered more of a fighting game than Smash Brothers. And honestly, I find because those are niche genres, I find that Smash Brothers finds that really good medium between being fun for the whole family and also being an extremely good competitive game. Honestly, in my opinion, Smash Brothers is one of those really perfect games where it can be everything and anything to the player. It can be just a fun party game just to play with friends. It can be one of those games that you want to 100% complete just because it's so fun doing so. It can be one of those games where you just play by yourself because you just enjoy the mastery of your character, and of course it can be a competitive game. Smash Brothers is such a remarkable game, honestly. Now I guess I should go into my opinions about Brawl, which is what everybody usually says is it wasn't as good as Melee. I have to say, in the competitive aspect, I must say that Brawl wasn't as fun as Melee to be competitive in. To play with friends and just have a nice time, I feel like Brawl just did a little bit better at that. And in general, I feel like Brawl just had the better cast of characters. Now, before everybody starts screaming that Mewtwo wasn't in it, I honestly did not. I just honestly don't care for Mewtwo in Melee. I feel like he's wonky and doesn't control very well, and he's also, all of his hits really just don't have that nice feeling to them that a lot of the other cast have. But I digress. I feel like Brawl is a nice game to play with friends, and it can be competitive, and there is a good competitive scene for it, and I have to admit, I do like seeing some characters in Brawl play. I love seeing, Lucario players. I love seeing Toon Link players. I have to say, I do like Brawl. I like Brawl's characters more just because they're more unique. I like how they decloned a lot of characters, and I know a lot of people are like, but they made Falco feel kind of terrible with he can't shine with his shield. It's not like Fox's shield anymore. And honestly, I just didn't care about that because it just felt like the characters were more unique, and they, it felt like every character had their own thing, honestly. Sure, some characters share some things, like all the Star Fox characters and their blasters, but they all felt unique in their own ways. All their attacks were different. Well, not all their attacks, but most of their attacks were different. Their smashes were different. Falco, I feel like, became a little bit more of his own character. But honestly, I was surprised that Wolf, a new character, wasn't cloned in a sense of laziness. I really felt like there was a sense of we really wanted to try and declone everything, which, yes, that was Melee's bit, is that they did want to declone everybody, which I have to say I do like. Brawl's bit. Now, with Melee, I gotta admit, is much funner. Is so much fun to just be competitive in. Melee just has everything that you would want to be competitive in the game. It has the speed, it has the weight, it has the good cast of characters, it has everything. There isn't really a Meta Knight, though you could kind of argue that Fox is kind of the Meta Knight of the game, with the plethora of options that Fox has compared to other characters. But there's other characters, like Falco, which is basically Fox 0.2, or 0.0, depending on your opinion on who's better, Fox or Falco. But then you have like characters like Marth and all that other stuff that, also kind of balance out the high tiers, so then you see more creative matches, and you see people, just because the game is faster, you see people think on the fly more. Honestly, I feel like Brawl's competitive game, since it is defensive, is more of a strategic game, while Melee is more of a think-on-your-feet, heavy action game, where you're forced to where you are put in dangerous situations, and you have nothing but your wits to get you out of it. Which is something that everybody loves seeing in competitive games, and that's why Melee is just something that everybody likes to see. The fast-paced action, the dangerous situations that they put themselves in, the plethora of just fighting each other again and again, and never knowing who is going to win that time. It really just shows. I think that Melee, the competitive scene, I really do feel like the better player does win, usually, in the competitive scene. I do feel like if there is a Fox v Fox, it's always going to go to the better player. And you can't say that in too many other fighting games. I mean, there are games like, I'll say, Ultimate Marvel 3, where there might be a really good player that knows a plethora of combos and knows how to do everything in the game and just feels and just is really nice. But if that player does not get the first hits and then just gets infinite comboed again and again and again, well, you can't really say that the better player wins. Though, yes, you could argue that the person that does win is the better player. But imagine this. What if a person had so much knowledge of the game and is by default and would be the world champion of the game, right? But then you imagine somebody who just knows one cheap tactic and knows it very well. You could call the person that does win on that one cheap tactic the better player, but would you call the more skillful player the better player? The thing in Melee is I find that the more skillful player wins most of the time, which is really nice to see. It's nice to see that you're rewarded for being good in a game, and that's what I really like about Smash Brothers. You are rewarded. You do feel the rewards of just getting every single hit, any percent. Even if you get 1%, you feel like you're rewarded because it all goes to a goal of just decimating your character. It isn't like a game like, I guess, Street Fighter, or Street Fighter 4 to be exact, where every single time you do damage, you might not feel like you're being very rewarded because the character that you're going against might have an extremely overbearing ultra, or something like that. The comeback mechanic. I feel like the comebacks in this game feel real because they are real. There's nothing there to help them get back except for their own skill, and it just feels amazing when you do come back. It's a great game just to feel good about yourself and feel good about your skill. And I hold Smash Brothers, every Smash Brothers, not just Melee, not just the 64 version, not just Brawl, and not just Project M. I will say that I think Project M's... I don't like how they decloned everybody back to Melee. I do feel like they could have kept them more unique and not had to, you know, clone them again to make them better. Though, yes, it is called Project Melee, so that is something that you should expect, is that the characters would be cloned again. But I do like how they kept the unique characters like Ike and Sonic and Lucario to stay unique. I do like that. I do hold every Smash in high regard. And I never understood why people never considered it a fighting game. Whenever somebody asked me if I considered Smash a fighting game, I would always say yes. Why wouldn't Smash be a fighting game? It's about a game. First of all, what constitutes as a fighting game, and they're usually like 2D fighters or 3D fighters or just fighters made by Capcom and Namco or something like that. Something stupid. You know, honestly. And then I say, well, if it's a 2D fighter, this is a 2D fighter, but it's on a 3D plane. Well, look at Street Fighter 4, look at Street Fighter Cross Tekken. They're 2D fighters, but their backgrounds and all that stuff is 3D. Or if people say only 3D fighters can be this game, then I would argue, well, I guess I can't argue with you there. If only 3D fighters can be fighting games in your mind, I guess you're right there. Except that they are 3D polygons. I mean, there are 3D models in the game, not polygons. We're not going back to Smash 64, unless if you need to. There are 3D models, and they do actually have every single side of the model, and you can pretty much explore if you hack your Wii or GameCube or something like that. So then your camera is unbound. You can explore the maps and everything, and you can see that it's all in a 3D dome. So it is constituted as a 3D game. If you really want to get iffy on what constitutes as 3D and what constitutes as 2D. And then if it's only fighters made by Capcom and Namco or the other big fighting game names can be fighters, well, I would really just feel bad for them. Because then they're missing out on a grand scale of fighters. They're missing out on games like Skullgirls. They're missing out on the indie scene of fightings. Though I do have an opinion on Beast Fury, which I will save for a different video since this has nothing to do with it. Except for the, I guess the reference, since I'm talking about fighting games that aren't made by them. They're missing out on games like system artwork games, like Blaze Blue. They're missing out on Persona 4 Arena. They're missing out on all that. And honestly, I do feel bad for them if they don't consider them as fighting games. They're missing out on games like Mortal Kombat. They're missing out on games like Injustice. I do feel like people that don't consider Smash as a fighting game really close-minded and just doesn't want to consider it a fighting game because maybe they don't feel like they're that good at it. Because I assure you, practically everybody that's played a fighting game or really played a game at all knows Smash Brothers. Knows Smash Brothers. Maybe, and I would be hard-pressed to find anybody that's never played a Smash Brothers game, or at least never tried it, or even watched, or at least isn't a fan of it, or anything like that. Smash Brothers is such a big thing, and I love seeing how it's grown. I love seeing then Smash 4. Smash 4 is being considered to be made more competitive by Sakurai. I'm loving seeing that stuff. I'm loving seeing stuff like the Internationals at E3. I love seeing that stuff. Though I do wish that it was, you know, 1v1, no items on, so then we could see more about those characters, and not just the Wii Fit trainer standing over at the edge and charging up her, I believe it's Sun Stance or something like that, where she charges up a projectile. And honestly, where the Mega Man player kinda stunk and everybody voted him as, you know, fan favorites, and we kept seeing the Mega Man player that kept losing, and I don't know why we couldn't see the better players play, but that's a whole different thing. And besides, that player was a Soul Cal player, and E3 wasn't Soul Cal, so I would imagine that that would happen. I believe even the commentators even talked about, yeah, he's in Soul Cal, so they're going to vote for him. So, that's basically it. Thank you for watching. That's my opinion on Smash Brothers, and I'm going to talk about a lot more Smash Brothers topics and related things. I just wanted to get a lot off of there, so then everybody would know anything about me and Smash Brothers. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.